Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here, your source for gaming, tech, emulation, and open source news. Let's get started. Alright, we'll kick things off talking about Nintendo Switch emulation with Ryujinx. Now, we talked about this one in a previous video where Nintendo ended up shutting Ryujinx down. There are a lot of rumors out there right now as to what exactly happened, what exactly went down, and unfortunately, I don't know what's true. I'm doing some digging here, and as soon as I know more, you'll know more. But I will say one of the big rumors out there right now is that Nintendo visited GDK Chanada's house in Brazil and demanded the emulator be shut down. I'm not sure how much truth there is to that one. It seems a very weird scenario. But who knows? Where there's smoke, sometimes there's fire. Anyways, here Ryujinx has been backed up to the Internet Archive, and as far as I know, it's absolutely fine because this was not involved in any sort of lawsuit. So based on my limited understanding about the matter due to lack of details, I think that Ryujinx has a much better chance at succeeding and carrying on as opposed to something like Yuzu. I mean, when forks of Yuzu pop up on GitHub, Nintendo has been taking them down via DMCA. Anyways, here I'm not quite sure what's going to happen with this one moving forward. I haven't seen any sort of lawsuit yet, so I think this is okay. I could be wrong. Anyways, here I just wanted to warn people that there will probably be malware distributed as Ryujinx Android and Ryujinx iOS versions. Ryujinx did unveil that they were working on Android and iOS ports of it, and I'm assuming some people may be opportunistic at this point in time and use it to distribute viruses under the guise of, well, the Android and iOS versions of Ryujinx. People will be interested in it, and some people will take advantage of that, so be careful. Next up, we're talking about a ROM translation for a system we don't normally talk about, and that's the N64DD. And there's a brand new English translation of Dezaemon 3D. I might have mispronounced that one. It's a shoot 'em up that happened to be the first N64 game to support the 64DD. Now, if you are curious about this one and wanted to see the game in action, Zoinkitty, who is behind the translations, has a whole series of YouTube videos, and I do recommend checking them out. Like everything I talk about, link will be in the description below right at the bottom. My news is 100% open source, and I don't hide my sources. Next up, we're quickly talking about Hypseus Singe, and I probably mispronounced that one. This one is a fork of Daphne, and it just got a brand new update. So at the time of filming, version 2.11.3 is the latest update. There's now a dedicated repository for bezels. They've implemented multiple game controller support. There's a whole bunch of bug fixes, improvements, and even more. Hypseus Singe is 100% free. It's open source. It's designed to play Laserdisc arcade games, and it's available for Windows, Linux, and Mac. Next up, we're talking about Palworld, and I think a lot of people are going to be excited about this one. It turns out that Palworld is headed to mobile. This announcement's over on Krafton's website. It is in Korean, but at the same time here, if you use Google Translate, it basically says the PUBG studios will be handling the mobile port of the game. Unfortunately, I don't have any more details for you. I don't know the time, I don't know what the game is going to look like, and I don't know the cost or if it's going to be free to play. Overall here though, this is very promising for Palworld, and I think it's going to increase its popularity substantially. Let me know your thoughts about Palworld on mobile in the comments below. Moving on, and we're talking about Sony. Now, we talked about Sony yesterday with the big issues that PSN was causing, and it turns out that they also had a PS5 UI issue. People were complaining that advertisements were running rampant. So here's one of the many tweets that were showcasing the issue. So it turns out that the recent PS5 UI update that let you disable all the advertisements on the dashboard was too good to be true. Now, every single game on your home screen shows you an advertisement in the background with no way to remove them. Now, fortunately, it appears that this is some sort of error. So Ask PlayStation says a tech error with the official news feature on the PS5 console has since been resolved. There have been no changes to the way game news is displayed on PS5. And I am hoping that this is just a one-off error and not something they plan on implementing in the future. And let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. Did you experience this error? Do you have a PS5 in the first place? Next up, we're shifting from PS5 over to Steam, and in Germany, it appears that German regulators have specified that all games must have an age rating in order to be sold to customers in Germany. So starting on November 15th of this year, Steam will no longer display games to customers in Germany if the game is missing a valid age rating. Now, from my understanding, Valve has their own internal rating system that should make it easy for developers, but I don't think they guarantee it. And taking a look at the website here for, well, the German rating system, and it seems like it's going to be quite a bit of a process. I mean, there's a submission form, and then they need information, they have to receive it. Data has to be formatted in a certain way here, and then there's the processing time, which could take up to 20 days. And that's after they've accepted everything and ready to process it. And then they give an examination result, and, well, the game gets a rating. So I'm very curious about this one, if games are going to get, unquote, delisted just because they don't have a rating, or maybe they're in the system and it's taken a while. I mean, unfortunately, I don't know the number of games that now will have to get a rating for Germany, but if there are a lot, I'm assuming that this system here is going to take quite a bit of time, and possibly going the Valve system route may be the smarter option in the meantime. Who knows here, but at the very least, if you're in Germany, be prepared to possibly have some games delisted, or at least soft delisted until they get rated. Next up, we're talking about Until Dawn on the PS5. Now, Until Dawn releases in just a few days, and it seems that some people may have been getting their discs early. And some of those people may have been Twitch streamers, and some of those Twitch streamers may have streamed the game. So there is a stream up on Twitch right now if you are curious and wanted to see some gameplay. I've got no idea how long this 2 hour and 40, almost 8-minute video is going to stay up for, but at the same time, it's there. Again, like everything I talk about, link will be in the description below. In my opinion here, well, it does look like Until Dawn, and it does look like it's running on the PS5. And it does look pretty good. Next up, I've got some good news and bad news for you. The good news, you probably already know that Hi-Fi Rush is back in development. And this is because Krafton acquired Tango Studios and, well, also the Hi-Fi Rush IP. Bad news, The Evil Within is, I don't want to say it's dead, but it doesn't look like it's going to go anywhere. Now, the full interview is up over on GameIndustry.biz for Krafton's takeover of Tango, or purchase or acquisition of Tango. And here is one of the questions. What about Tango's other projects? Why did Krafton feel these games, Ghostwire Tokyo, The Evil Within, helped to justify the studio's acquisition? And here is the answer. We primarily focused on Hi-Fi Rush. It was more of a strategic decision. It would have been great to get all the IPs, but the team was working on Hi-Fi Rush 2, and the others were working on anniversary content for The Evil Within. Knowing Microsoft's direction with the IP sale, we didn't want to push too far with this acquisition. So we primarily had Hi-Fi Rush under discussions because it would complicate the process and elongate the entire negotiation process. So the interviewer then asks, so it's not all the IP? And they say, no, just Hi-Fi Rush. So are Ghostwire and The Evil Within staying with Microsoft? And the answer is yes. So while this is great news for Hi-Fi Rush, this seems like horrible news for The Evil Within, especially the anniversary edition of it. It seems like there's going to be no anniversary edition for The Evil Within, and it's not going to be revived, but I could be wrong. Next up, we're talking about Throne and Liberty, a brand new free-to-play MMORPG that just launched on consoles and PC. Taking a look on Steam here, it's got a mixed overall review score with over 11,000 reviews. And the main cause of the mixed review score seems to be server issues. So here's a statement from the Throne and Liberty game status account over on Twitter, or X. Our teams are investigating a few issues discovered during launch. These issues include the following: black screen displayed, early access characters not appearing, and unable to create a character. Please be patient as we work to resolve these issues and fully open the doors to Solaceum. Now, I could be wrong here, but my gut tells me that Throne and Liberty was a little bit more popular than the developers anticipated, and, well, the servers couldn't handle the influx of all the players. Again, I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. Let me know your thoughts about Throne and Liberty in the comments below. Have you had a chance to play it, and what are your thoughts about it? Did you have server issues? Next up, we're going back to Microsoft and talking about them killing stuff. Just this time, not the Evil Dead Anniversary. We're talking about the HoloLens 2. And it turns out that Microsoft is killing the HoloLens 2 with no replacement. So Upload VR reports that HoloLens 2 will continue to receive updates to address critical security issues and software regressions until December 31st, 2027. As soon as 2028 starts, software support for HoloLens 2 will end. And the original HoloLens ends support on December 10th of this year, so just in a couple months. Now, to be honest with you, I don't know many people who have a HoloLens 2 or even an original HoloLens, so I'm not surprised to see no HoloLens 3, but maybe some people are. If you've got a HoloLens 2 and you're enjoying it and you're disappointed that there's probably going to be no HoloLens 3, let me know in the comments below. Next up, we're still talking about Microsoft, kind of, and this time about Xbox 360 emulation with Xenia Canary. And Xenia Canary is just about to get a brand new feature here, and that is profile management. So the description of this video says in the next few days, Xenia Canary will receive next update that will contain customizable profiles. For now without achievement support, but it's planned for in the near future. So keep your eyes open for Xenia Canary's update here, and well, this is an exciting new feature. But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. We talked about a bunch today. Let me know your thoughts about absolutely any of it in the comments below. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button, check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate, save your state.